Larry, let's get right into it. Issue
Yeah.
of moving on. Yes, you've been hurt by your spouse. Your wife hurt you, your spouse hurt you, and you forgive. And the circumstances in which you forgive is something very, very unusual. I mean, the society feels that you should have actually left that marriage. But somehow, you decided to stay. He did something or she did something so bad, so grievous that everybody says leave. But you chose to stay. And as you are staying, you're still haunted by the decision you made. How do I move on? Was it the right thing to do? You know, what are they saying about me? Could you help somebody like that to properly move on?
First of all, what does forgiveness really mean? It means that you stop blaming or being angry with someone or for something that that person has done, and you stop punishing that person for it. The values of marriage is built upon the fundamentals of spirituality and religion, right? Which means that you either go to a mosque or you go to church to get married upon the foundation and the fundamentals of that faith. So what does Islam say? What does Christianity say about forgiveness?
Right.
That's what we now look
Okay.
at.
Yeah.
Now, the epitome, I am Christian, right? The epitome of, a role model in our own religion is Jesus Christ.
Right.
Now, they caught a woman in the act of adultery, and they brought her to Jesus. Now, this is society for you. Society is always partial. Society always pushes an agenda, and that's why you cannot do anything because of society, right? They caught her in adultery. They brought only her to Jesus. They left the man to tell you how biased society is. Society does not create a balance. Society is not about your healing. Society is not about your wellness, your well-being. Society doesn't care about your future. They want a sensational story. They want to create sensation out of something. And meanwhile, they that you label them society are committing the same crime. So leave society out of your decisions.
Lanre, forgiveness is such a difficult thing to do. There have been so many hurts. Stories of, there was a story we had recently that the wife played an away match, got a child, got pregnant, and the husband forgave her. They moved on and they raised the child together. But they never told the children. So when the children were grown-ups, the child now finds out outside that his father is not his real father, you know, and he finds it difficult to forgive his parents for keeping that kind of secret, you know. So there's so many different stories we hear of life. So the issue is, how do you begin the process of forgiveness?
All right, I think the first thing is you have to understand that, the benefit of forgiveness is not to the offender. The number one benefit of forgiveness is not to the offender. The first benefit of forgiveness is to you. Now, research has proven to us that if you learn how to forgive, if you know how to forgive and you forgive, right, it decreases your tendency for depression, anxiety, worry, unhealthy anger, and symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. So, imagine, Mariah, like that I stand, there's someone sitting in this chair, and I stand behind that person, and I hold that person down, and I say, you're not going anywhere, right? Now, that person will not be able to move, but I myself will not be able to move. That's what forgiveness does to you. It gets you stuck. And you have to understand that we live in a world where people will always offend us. And so we have to develop forgiveness as a skill, as a tool for well-being and wellness. So forgiveness has to be part of our DNA. I'm not even speaking about forgiveness in terms of infidelity in your marriage or all of that. I'm saying forgiveness generally. From when we were kids, right? From when we were young, right? We have to forgive. If not, we will not have any friends. People will always offend you. Things will not always go your way. So it has to be a lifestyle. And it is very, very important that for us to recognize that and for us to understand the benefit of forgiveness.
Right.
Yeah.
The biggest benefit is to
Is
you.
us.